Hey folks, it's Kai here from Dogwood. I'm sorry about my terrible drawings. If you can actually do a good barbarian horde, please get in touch. So anyway, here's Kinder Morgan, the Texas pipeline company, and they're planning a fresh siege of our province on May 20th at the latest. So here's our battle plan. If we pull back here, we can see the brave defenders of Fortress BC, that's you, up on the battlements. Now, if the invaders ever breach the castle keep, that'll be pretty epic, but there are 5 lines of defense they have to cross first. This is a map of the battlefield from above. On the left is our fortress, on the right is the enemy horde. So the first barrier is the National Energy Board, which I've drawn here as a kind of shrubbery. The NEB is funded by the oil industry. Its members are unelected industry appointees, and it's never said no to a pipeline. So we fully expect Kinder Morgan to leap over this flimsy shrubbery on May 20th or sooner as the NEB approves the project. Second, a modest stone wall. The federal cabinet in Ottawa has to say yes, and the deadline for that is in December. Now, Trudeau made a public commitment to redo the review process for new pipelines, to look at climate change and properly consult First Nations. But he's also said a pipeline to the West Coast is a priority, so clearly this wall is not too high to climb over. Third line of defense, the province, represented here by a spiky palisade. Premier Christy Clark would have to sign off on about 60 permits for things like freshwater crossings, plus an environmental certificate. And with 2 in 3 British Columbians opposed to oil tankers on the coast, plus a provincial election just a year away, she's in no hurry to take down the barricade. The next line of defense is you, if you're a BC voter. We have a unique democratic insurance policy that allows us to force a referendum on a piece of legislation written by ordinary people. The process is called a citizens' initiative, and to be successful, we would need signatures from 10% of voters in all 87 provincial ridings. It's been done before, but it's tough, which is why we've been preparing for 2 years, training volunteer teams, organizing friends and neighbors, and building lists of supporters across the province. Now, if we fail to stop Kinder Morgan at the ballot box, they can still lose in court. First Nations along the pipeline and tanker route are preparing legal challenges in case the feds try to ram this thing through. Aboriginal rights and title have been strengthened by a string of recent court decisions, but that doesn't mean we sit back and leave all the hard work to First Nations. Our politicians need some encouragement to stand up for BC. So these are the 5 hurdles Kinder Morgan will have to cross, starting with the NEB approval later in May. There will be skirmishes along the outer ring of defenses, but our primary job at Dogwood is to build that democratic wall, the Citizens' Initiative, which is buttressed by the support of literally millions of British Columbians who don't want oil tankers on the coast. If you're ready to help out in your community, please sign up at letbcvote.ca.